I call upon the spirit of the owl, messenger of wisdom. Welcome to the Temple of the Owl. Merry meet, seekers of knowledge. I'm your host, Matt's Owl, and I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Sending you guys some good positive vibes your way if you need them. Thank you guys for listening. Here at the Temple of the Owl, located deep in the forests of Northern California. In this episode, we will discuss cleansing, purifying, and hallowing. This is where we talk about magic and spirituality on all levels, but it's through the perspective of a modern witch. As always, these are just ideas to help you live a magical life and make you think about things differently. Take the information and do what you want with it. Special thank you for the guys listening and support, subscribe, and like it at YouTube and Spotify. And a special thank you for those listening on KUAP Digital Broadcasting. That's the Troubled Minds Radio Network. Special thanks to everyone out there, my Troubled Minds fam. Well, I'd like to start the show off with what I call the MOD, or the message of the day. It's a quote I find that helps me explain the show topic. And today's quote is, "I cleanse myself of all negative thoughts. I fill myself with love and positivity." And that's a quote that I found off the internet. And I like that because that's the kind of attitude I have when I cleanse myself or my house. And today we're talking about the sacred renewal, the cleansing, purification, and hallowing. In modern witchcraft today, we're diving into something that sits at the very heart of witchcraft, cleansing and purification. Now, these are some of the most important practices in the craft. They're essential whether you're a beginner or a seasoned witch. We're going to talk about how witches cleanse people, places, and objects, and explore the sacred art of hallowing, and a walk through purification rites and rituals. I'm also going to share examples and some steps that you can incorporate into your own practice. So grab a cup of tea and light a candle if you like. Let's step into the sacred space together. Well, at its core, what is witchcraft? Or what is cleansing in witchcraft? It's a spiritual housekeeping. It's just like when we clean our houses to remove dust and clutter. Witches cleanse energy and remove negativity, stagnation, and emotional residue. Energy lingers everywhere, in rooms, objects, and even within ourselves. Cleansing clears that energy and restores the balance. In modern witchcraft, we cleanse to prepare for rituals and spell work, remove unwanted or heavy energy, and protect ourselves and our spaces. We restore harmony and clarity, and create sacred environments. Cleansing is one of the most universal practices in magic. It's simple, powerful, and deeply transformative. Although these terms aren't also often used interchangeably, they have slightly different meanings. Now, cleansing removes unwanted energy. It has nothing to do with soap and water. Cleansing raises the vibration. Now, purification elevates and sanctifies what remains. So think of it this way. Cleansing washes the slate clean, while purification prepares it for the sacred work. Think of cleansing like taking a shower, and purification is like anointing yourself with sacred oil before stepping into the ritual. Both are essential to magic practice. Let's talk about how we cleanse people, places, and things. Let's break down how witches cleanse different aspects of their lives. You can cleanse yourself. Sometimes we carry stress, anxiety, and emotional heaviness. Spiritual cleansing helps release that energy and restore inner peace. A simple way to do this is with a cleansing bath. You could add salt and lavender or rosemary to warm water. Light a candle and step into the bath and visualize the negativity dissolving. Say, "May all my burdens be washed away. I am cleansed, renewed, and at peace." If you don't have a bathtub, a shower works just as well. Imagine the water rinsing away anything that no longer serves you. You can do this in the shower. Just imagine the dark blackness of negativity being washed off of you and swirling down the drain. That's what I do. When we cleanse our spaces, our homes absorb energy from daily life. Regular cleansing helps them keeps them peaceful and protected. How to cleanse your home. Open the windows and allow stagnant energy to leave. Light incense or your preferred cleansing herb. Move clockwise through each room, focusing on doorways, corners, and mirrors. Say, I cleanse this space of all negativity. Only peace and protection may remain. When you're finished, take a moment to feel the shift in the atmosphere. When we cleanse objects like magical tools, crystals, and secondhand items, they often carry energetic imprints. Cleansing ensures that they align with your intentions. Hold the item in your hands and pass it through the incense smoke. Visualize it glowing with pure white light and say, be cleared of all prior energies. You now serve my highest good. This is especially important when acquiring new tools for your practice. Cleansing with the element of air. Incense raises the vibration of the tool by passing it through smoke. You can cleanse it with incense or sage. And then you can blow on the item or hang it outside on a windy day. Fire is very purifying. Cleanse the candle for purification and then hold the item a few inches above the flame. You could also leave it out in the tool out in the sun to be purified by fire. Water cleanses and washes away. Use salt mixed with water to cleanse the object and protect the object in sacred spaces. Any magic done at the beach or sea or river can cleanse an object, or just running water from the faucet. Now, earth takes the longest because it's dense. Bury the tool in salt or earth for a few hours. Be sure to place a marker if you plant your tools in the soil. Spirit is the easiest way to cleanse. Call upon your gods and ask them for aid. Imagine the item filling with white light. When you cleanse the object, you can meditate on it, hold it in your hands, and feel the object become magically alive. All objects on the altar should be cleansed, from the candle holders, the tablecloth, and the matches. Cleanse the antheme, the ritual dagger, with breath. Cleanse the wand with fire or incense. The chalice is filled with liquid, and a rock or a bowl of salt can be used for earth. Let your heart and mind guide you as you cleanse your ritual tools. You will collect more tools along the way. Cleanse the ones you have now, and then you can continue your quest. Now, some people don't like other people touching their tools, and that's okay as long as it's not with any disrespect. Cleanse your tools often, and cleanse them. Some witches cleanse once a month or once a year. The more you use the tool, the more your energy will be entangled with it. Now let's talk about the sacred art of hallowing. Once something is cleansed and purified, it can be hallowed. Now to hallow means to make sacred. To dedicate a space, object, or moment to a spiritual purpose. It transforms the ordinary into the divine. Witches hallow altars, ritual tools, sacred spaces, talismans, and charms. And we also do it during seasonal celebrations. Here's how to hallow a sacred space. Cleanse the area. Light a candle. Sprinkle a few drops of water and say, I hallow this space. May it be protected, purified, and sacred. Visualize a sphere of radiant white light surrounding it. In that moment, you are creating a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. During purification rites and rituals, purification has existed for thousands of years across cultures. It remains central to modern witchcraft. Some common purification practices include ritual bathing before spell work, washing hands before casting a circle, and anointing with blessed oils, cleansing during the full or new moon, and seasonal purification. Here's a simple hand purification rite. Fill a small bowl with water and add a pinch of salt. Dip your fingers into the mixture and say, with water and earth, I am made pure. With intention and will, I am prepared. This small act can transform your mindset and prepare you for magical work. Now, why these practices matter in modern witchcraft? In today's fast-paced and chaotic world, cleansing and purification are more important than ever. They help us stay grounded and balanced, and protect our energy, and cultivate mindfulness and intention. They create sacred moments in everyday life, and strengthen our connection to our craft. Modern witchcraft is deeply personal. These rituals offer a powerful way to reconnect with ourselves, nature, and the spiritual realm. At its heart, cleansing is the act of self-care, empowerment, and transformation. A lot of people hear the word hallowed and they think of old churches, sacred ground, or phrases like, hallowed be thy name. But in witchcraft, hallowing means something very personal. To hallow something is to make it sacred. The act of taking an ordinary object, space, or movement and spiritually transforming it through intention, ritual, and energy. Hallowing sits at the heart of modern witchcraft because witches are constantly created sacred space in the ordinary world. Hallowing is different from cleansing because cleansing removes unwanted energy, but hallowing goes a step further. It dedicates something to a spiritual purpose. So cleansing wipes the slate clean, purification prepares it, and hallowing awakens it. When witches hallow something, we're saying, this is no longer an ordinary item. This now holds spiritual meaning. And they can be anything, a candle, an altar, a ritual tool, or a home. Or the circle for spell work. Even yourself before ritual. Hallowing creates a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual one. The idea of hallowing is ancient. People across cultures have always blessed land, objects, and homes, and sacred sites. Ancient temples were hallowed. Ritual tools were consecrated, and sacred wells and forests were protected because people believed spirit lived there. And in witchcraft, that idea survives. Modern witches may not always use formal religious language, but the intention is the same: to invite sacred energy and to create spiritual protection, to acknowledge the divine in the moment. Why does it matter in modern witchcraft? Because modern life moves fast. Everything feels rushed, loud, and distracted. Hallowing slows us down and reminds us to become intentional. And that's kind of what makes witchcraft so meaningful. It teaches people how to create sacred moments again. You don't need an ancient temple. A witch can hollow a bedroom, a garden, or a candle before meditation. A cup of tea during moon rituals. The power comes from awareness and intention. That's the magic of it. One of the most common forms of hallowing is creating sacred space before ritual. Now, usually this begins with cleansing, smoke, cleansing with salt water, cleansing with bells or sound. Then comes the act of dedication. This is an example of a spiritual hallowing ritual. You'll need a candle, a bowl of water, salt, and herbs. Begin by cleansing the space. Light the candle, touch the water, and sprinkle a few drops around the area. Stand quietly and focus your intention. Then say something like, I hallow this space with intention and light. May it be protected, sacred, and filled with peace. May only energies aligned with my highest good enter here. Then pause. Feel the atmosphere shift. That stillness, that awareness, that is part of the magic. And that's important to stop and feel that shift happening when you do this stuff. So when we hollow objects and tools, we could hollow the ritual objects like tarot cards, crystals, athames, pendulums, jewelry, or candles. It connects the object to your energy and purpose. A candle bought at the store is just a candle, but once it's hollowed through ritual and intention, it becomes part of your craft. And that transformation is important because witchcraft is deeply symbolic. It teaches us that meaning is created through relationship and ritual. Now, when we talk about hollowing ourselves, one thing that people don't really talk about enough is self-hollowing. Before rituals or spell work, many witches take time to prepare themselves mentally, emotionally, and energetically. Now that might mean a ritual, like a ritual bath, a meditating, anointing oils, and breath work. Speaking affirmations. This is the way of saying, I am stepping into a sacred space. And honestly, in modern witchcraft, it's incredibly powerful. Because in a world that's constantly pulling people apart, hollowing yourself is an act of reclaiming your spirit. There's a deeper meaning here. At its core, oh shit. No. Anyways, at its core, Hallowing is about connection. It's about recognition that the sacred isn't distant. It can exist here, now, and in everyday life. A witch understands that a room can become a temple, a flame can become a prayer, and a moment can become a ritual. And through Hallowing, ordinary becomes enchanted. So tonight, maybe take a moment to hollow something simple, like a candle, your home, your altar, or even yourself. Pause long enough to say, this moment matters, because maybe that's what Hallowing truly is. Not escaping the world, but reminding ourselves that there's still something sacred within it. Before we end, I want to take a slow, deep breath. Imagine a gentle white light surrounding you, calming, protective, and warm. Let it wash over you, cleansing away any heavy or unwanted energies. Just remember, cleansing restores, purification sanctifies, and hallowing transforms. These sacred practices remind us that magic begins with intention, and that every step towards clarity brings us closer to the divine within. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends and coven, and leave a review. It helps the podcast grow. Well, until next time, stay grounded, stay protected, and stay magical. This is Matt Al. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for listening and subscribing and all that, guys. I want to say thank you for listening on KUAP Digital Broadcasting, the Troubled Minds Radio Network. I release the spirit of the owl. Thank you guys. Blessed be.
For many centuries, witchcraft has been considered evil, associated with the devil and all things dark. Let's break these stereotypes with your host, Matt Sal, of the Temple of the Owl. Let's talk about magic of the old ways, explore the many roles of the witch, learn the tools of the craft, the history of the science behind this ancient, earth-based religion on the Troubled Minds Radio Network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting.
Thanks, Rohan.